Howdy folks, this morning's soap is from Stirling, and this is a very much a licorice scent, and it's not a red licorice but a black licorice scent, and definitely has already filled the bathroom with that scent whipping up the lather there. Got the alum block, no rubber band, it's getting pretty small. This witch hazel is black ice, in other words it's going to be licorice scented, and it's also methylated. And decided to follow up with black Bart. Of course that's licorice scented also, but the shaven beard oil is not. I have it whipped up here in a bowl here. Got a yogurt type consistency to it, whipped up with a Raven Brushworks brush, and this is a pretty stout scent, so this scent will not be for everyone, because this yeah, it just fills the bathroom. It smells great. I already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and my shaver is a Dubl duck safety matic. I'll show it to you here pretty soon. It is a for my very first shave with that particular shaver, I wasn't, guess you might say I wasn't too sure about it, and for some reason or another I decided to go ahead and revisit it, and on Tuesday, and I have to say that I'm glad I did, because evidently, I guess you might say, things lined up for me. Light bulb came on. Not only did I get a nice shave with it on Tuesday, but I also figured out when it comes to hair shapers, I think this might be my favorite one. Not sure what all took place on Tuesday, why everything, I guess you might say, seemed to line up for me. It just seemed like on the very first pass I knew the angle just got right. Figured out that one of the reasons why I like this particular shaver now, I guess, is because of the others I've used here recently. When it comes to shave its and whatnot, got a lot of soap here. That the scales on this one is smaller. Shorter, I should say. Which seems to suit me better. I realized that the scales weren't getting in the way. Angles seemed to come to me pretty naturally. The shaves went a lot better. Should say I was a lot more comfortable with it. Smells great. Here it is. This particular one here, I have this one here, and I think the blue one, yeah, it's right here. They look similar, but they are different. This one here has plastic here on the end, and you see the two ducks there, and it says safety matic there. That's what it looks like there. I've taken the guard off, it's sitting over there. Then I have this one here, double duck, looks very similar to it. This one here's got a metal end to it on the tang, and but does not say safety matic. Now if you were to, on this guard here, you know, of course it says hair shaper, double duck, and once you slide it forward, it just says double duck hair shaper on there. But this one here weighs a bit more than the safety matic, but when it comes to, for instance, comparing scale length and whatnot, this is a WEC right here, but you can kind of see that there's a big difference in length, and I'm thinking that I'm liking the length the shortness of these double ducks. It seems to work better for me. Mentioned it once before, I'm not real tall, not a real big guy. I'm only about 5'6", and that's if I stretch. Don't have any hair up here to help give me another ½ inch. So something of this size when it comes to the scale seemed to work better for me. And also I noticed that it seems to work better for me also sometimes to only have one finger up front. Not sure why. Even though this is a lighter weight shaver, I think it has something to do with the recent history of even with the DEs of the past month or so, a couple of months I guess you might say, that the shaving even with lightweight DEs I think has helped me figure out with pressure how to deal with the lightweight. This Personna blade, this one here is on its 4th use, and the tugging's not real bad, but it's there. Kind of see the one across the grain. I switched from 1 to 2. Guess you might say I'm still trying to find my way with it. But I seem to be a lot more comfortable with the shaver now. I know the first time I was shaving it, not so much. May not have been all that noticeable. Had a lot of fun this past week though off camera shaving with it. Shaves have been really nice. Now, trying to be careful when I'm shaving and talking now, especially with this one here. I don't know, for me, looking at it like this, to me it's very intimidating, even though a straight razor doesn't intimidate me near as much as looking at this, and maybe I'm getting past that more so than what I thought I was. Yeah, this one here would be really easy for me to cut myself on with this one here. As you can tell, that blade just hanging out there. It does look intimidating. It has been fun. I feel a lot more comfortable with this shaver now. And the cooling effect with this soap, I can still feel it on my face. It's got a menthol to it. Nice cooling effect. Along with the licorice, I think helps a lot. Push it along as it goes for cooling. Shaves of the past week has been fun. It's that Tuesday shave when I guess you might say light bulb came on and everything started to come together. And this soap whipped up really creamy. Been using smaller knots this week, and I'm really thinking that I do like the smaller knots. My face is not near as big. In other words, this knot is pretty good size, covers a lot of area in a hurry. And I like the smaller knots so I can get in smaller places. It smells wonderful in here this morning. I know, like yesterday. What's that smell? Because it's moving out. Once I open the door, the scent moves out into the hallway. Trying not to get too much on me this morning. Don't want the wife beat me up too much. Speaking of all that sort of thing, today is, we're getting down towards the end of October, and I've already been kind of working towards December, you know, being DE and all that sort of thing, working on which shavers I'm going to shave with, and, you know, try to plan a few things out. And I know in the past, you know, the shaving every day with a DE, last year I was trying to work in a shave at shave, and in other words on Sundays or something of the sort. In other words, not too sure if I'm going to go the full month with DEs or not. But I think I will. I'm going to go the full month with DEs, and I'm going to line them all up, figure out which ones I'm going to be using. And at the end of this month, going into, well, it'll be November the 1st, my wife's going back in for another surgery. Of course, the idea is that things will go well and go as planned, of course, but I guess you might say in the back of my mind I'm not so sure that it's going to go as planned, because the others haven't went as planned. Try not to whack off my ear there. It gets pretty close sometimes. But so I might be absent a little bit. Not too sure how the rest of it's going to play out in the way of videos and whatnot. If everything goes well, nobody will even notice that anything took place. Supposedly she's supposed to be in one day and out that same day, supposedly. I don't trust it. Just don't have a whole lot of faith that it's going to work that way. It might, because it's on a sliding scale, in my opinion, on what they find, or whether she's, I guess you might say, going in and out. So, but it's one of those situations where, once again, she's going to have a rather lengthy incision. It's supposed to be, in other words, another along the lines of about 18 inches in length. And I don't know that that's going to go all that well. Also, if you're fairly new to the channel, I'll mention this from time to time, that typically what I do is I have a shaver sitting off to the side, and just in case, in other words, if the shave does not go as planned, doesn't go as well, to pick up a few, a pass or two depending on the situation. If you're not real comfortable with doing a cross the green pass like I'm not on your neck, and I have a spot that is really difficult for me to get from time to time, and it is there today. And I have this little one here. It's got a Gillette Tech head, and I've got a blade in there, and this handle's like a travel handle. It's very small, very short I should say. And if you need to take your favorite shaver, whether it's a single edge or whatever, to pick up some strays, like that right there is all I needed, and I'm good to go. So, in other words, there's no harm, in my opinion, to have one sitting around to pick up, I guess you might say, leftovers. Because everything else is pretty darn smooth. Fourth use on that blade, I'm quite sure I can get a fifth one out of it, but this will be the last shave for this shaver for this week. These you can find these on eBay. They vary in price depending on what they come with. You could find them with the original case, which I don't have an original case with for any of mine, and they will the price, you know, the prices, it's a wide range. I've seen I got mine really cheap. I got both of those. I can't remember if I'd have to see if I can't find where I bought them, on how much I paid for them. I don't. The way I remember is I didn't pay near as much as what a lot of other folks were having to pay for them. In other words, I've seen these things go as high as $50 or more, and that's just for one. And I'm just not. I didn't pay nowhere near that much. If I remember right, I got them both as a pair. It's been a moment since I've had, bought them. Really happy with them though. Got that heel a little steep right there, I think, on the angle. Outside that, that's the only thing I've got stinging right now. But really happy I found these. When I looked on eBay, there's about, I think there's like 4 of them available. So in other words, when you find them, if you're wanting one, hopefully it falls in the price range that you're, wanting it in. Because I've known in the past, I've looked for them and not a one would be on eBay at all. So in other words, they're not the easiest to find. And that in good shape too. Mine are in really nice shape in my opinion. Definitely love this licorice scent. It's such a unique scent. Black Bart's what got me started. Black Bart Russell made this licorice scent, and then I found this one here, which is a stronger scent than if you go with the soap that's Black Ice. Black Ice, in other words, is supposed to be not quite as stout as the one we use today. And this one here following up just seemed to be, and even though I used this one yesterday, I thought, why not? It's my shave anyway. Keeping the theme of licorice for the past couple of days. It's kind of like menthol or a cooling effect, which is really working well right now. I think I did mention it. You can kind of tell there on the label, this is mentholated. And it just keeps right along with the theme. My face is still cooling. Feels great. I'm going to spray this in my hand. And I don't have, matter of fact, as goes for anything in the way of an aftershave, this is the only thing I have that's licorice scented. Really nice. I enjoy shaves like this. To me, these shaves are a lot of fun. Once again, this is a Personna blade. It's a double duck safety matic. It's got a plastic tang right here, and you can kind of see there's a little bit of the plastic rolling up in there. It does have this, I guess you might say, a button or a slide to help push the blade forward, like so. It's a nice shaver, it really is. So if you can find one, and if you're like me and kind of like these shorter scales, this is definitely a nice one to get. Really enjoyed it. May have to shave with this one a whole lot more now that I've guess you might figured out the ins and outs of the hair shapers and what ones work better for me. In the beginning, of course, you know, I do like the one that's got a little bit more weight to it, but this one here being lightweight, this week it just seems like everything came together for me. Hope everybody's doing well. I had a great shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.